1. Introduction. My name is Cindy. I live in a very big city that is always busy. My job is a wedding planner. This means I help rich people plan their special wedding days. I work all the time. My phone rings from early morning until late at night. I talk about flowers, cakes, and beautiful dresses. I help choose music and design big parties. My days are full of meetings and phone calls. I often run through the busy streets. I wear nice clothes and high heels, always looking at my watch. I need to be on time for everything. People see me and think I have a perfect life. I have a lot of money. I live in a very nice, big apartment with many rooms. I can buy anything I want. But inside, I often feel very empty. Even though my schedule is always full and I am always with people, I feel lonely. This feeling is strange because I have so much. I help happy couples start new lives, but my own life feels like it is missing something important. I often wonder if there is more to life than just work and money. One evening, after a very long day at work, I was walking home. The sun was going down and the city lights were just starting to turn on. The streets were still full of cars and people. There was a lot of noise, like every other evening. I walked past the train station, a place I usually hurried past without looking. I was tired and thinking about the next day's work. Then, something made me stop. I heard a sound that was different from the city noise. It was a soft, clear sound. Someone was playing a guitar. The music was very beautiful. It was a simple song, but it was full of feeling. It made the loud sounds of the city seem to disappear for a moment. I felt calm, which was a feeling I rarely had. The music touched something deep inside me. It made me forget about my busy work and my empty heart for a little while. I looked to see where the music was coming from. Near the wall of the station, a man was sitting on an old cardboard box. His clothes were old and looked a little dirty, but he held his guitar carefully. His fingers moved gently over the strings. He did not look up at first. He just played his beautiful song. I stood there for a few minutes just listening. The music was like a warm blanket on a cold day. Finally, he finished the song. He looked up and his eyes met mine. For a moment, we just looked at each other. His eyes were a bright blue color and they seemed kind. It was a very strong moment. It felt like time stopped. In that moment, I saw not just a homeless man, but a person with a story, a person who could make such beautiful music. I did not know his name then, but I later learned he was called Rob. This was the first time I saw him. 2. A new friend. The next day, I woke up early. I thought about Rob. I went to a small cafe near my apartment and bought 2 hot coffees. One for me and one for him. Then I walked quickly to the train station. Rob was there, sitting in his usual spot. When he saw me, his face smiled. I gave him the coffee. He thanked me. This became our new morning routine. For 7 days, I did this. Every morning, I brought Rob a warm coffee. It was a small thing, but it felt important. It was a quiet moment in my busy day. During these visits, we talked. I learned many things about Rob. He was not always homeless. He told me about his past life. He used to be a music teacher. He loved music and teaching children how to play instruments. But then, bad things happened. He lost his job and his home. He had no money. Life was very hard for him. He faced much bad luck. It was not his fault. Sometimes life is unfair to good people. He spoke about it without anger, just sadness. I saw that he was a kind man, even with his difficult past. Rob was different from my other friends. My friends were rich like me. They often talked about money, clothes, and parties. They did not always listen well, but Rob listened to everything I said. I told him about my work problems and my lonely feelings. He listened carefully. He did not judge me. He always found a way to make me laugh. His jokes were simple, but they made my heart light. He never asked for money. He only gave me his time and his smile. He often played his guitar for me too. His music was a gift. After a week, a new feeling grew inside me. It was a secret feeling. It was warm, like the coffee I brought him, but it also felt a little dangerous. I was a wedding planner with a busy life, and he was a man with no home. My world and his world were very different, but when I was with Rob, I felt happy. I felt a connection I did not feel with anyone else. My heart, which often felt empty, started to feel full. I looked forward to our morning talks more than anything else. His humor was gentle. He would tell a small story or make a funny face. It always made me smile, but his best quality was how he listened. He looked at me with his bright blue eyes. He truly heard my words. He made me feel important. He made me feel special. My rich friends often talked about themselves. Rob always made me feel like my thoughts mattered. This was new for me. This made me care about him even more. This simple man, sitting on a cardboard box, was bringing light into my life. 3. The big storm. It was a Tuesday night. The weather changed very fast. A big, cold storm came to the city. The sky turned dark gray. Rain started to fall. It was not just rain, it was freezing rain. The wind blew very hard, making a loud noise. It pushed against the windows of my apartment. I was inside my warm home. I had a comfortable sofa and a hot cup of tea, but I could not relax. My mind was not calm. I kept thinking about Rob. He was outside, somewhere in the big city. He did not have a warm place to stay. He did not have warm clothes. I imagined him under the bridge near the train station. Was he very cold? Was he wet? Would he get sick in this terrible weather? My heart felt heavy with worry. I tried to read a book, but I could not focus. I stood by the window and watched the storm. The wind howled like a sad animal. The rain hit the glass hard. I knew I had to do something. I could not just sit there in my warm apartment. I made a quick decision. I grabbed my biggest umbrella. It was a strong one made for bad weather. I put on a thick coat and my boots. I did not care about my nice clothes. I only thought about Rob. I opened the door and stepped into the storm. The wind pushed me back a little. The cold air hit my face. It was very dark outside. The streetlights looked blurry through the heavy rain. I held the umbrella tightly. I started to run towards the train station. The streets were empty. No cars, no people, only the sound of the wind and the rain. My feet splashed in the big puddles on the ground. The cold water went into my shoes. I did not stop. I kept running. My heart was beating fast, not just from running, but from worry. I hoped I would find him. I hoped he was okay. Finally, I reached the area near the station. I looked under the bridge. It was dark, but I saw a shape. It was Rob. He was curled up in a small ball. He was trying to sleep, but he was shaking badly. His clothes were completely wet. He looked so cold and small. My heart hurt even more to see him like this. "Rob," I shouted. My voice was loud against the wind. He moved slowly. He looked up, his eyes wide with surprise. He saw me standing there, holding the umbrella. "Cindy," he said, his voice was weak. "Go home. It is not safe here for you." He tried to sit up. He was shivering very much. I walked closer to him. The rain was still falling heavily. "No," I said firmly. I shook my head. "I am not leaving you here. You are coming with me now." I held out my hand to him. I was not going to let him stay in the storm. I needed him to be safe. We had to go, safe inside. We entered my apartment. Rob stopped at the door. He did not want to step inside. His eyes looked down at his dirty clothes. He saw the clean floor of my home. He felt very shy. He thought his old, wet clothes would make my place dirty. He whispered, "I will make the floor dirty." His face showed his shame. I saw his worry. "I don't care," I said softly. I smiled to show him it was okay. I wanted him to know he was welcome. I took his hand gently. I led him deeper into the apartment. I showed him the bathroom. "You can take a warm shower," I told him. I went to my brother's room. My brother was not home. I found some clothes for Rob. They were big jeans and a soft shirt. I also found clean socks and new underwear. I picked out a big, fluffy towel. I brought them to him. "These are for you," I said. "They are clean." He looked at the clothes. A small smile appeared on his face. He nodded slowly. While Rob was in the shower, I went to the kitchen. The sound of the running water was nice. It felt good to know he was warm. I started to make hot soup. The smell of vegetables filled the air. I thought about how different this was. Just hours ago, he was cold and alone. Now, he was safe inside my home. I felt happy about this change. After some time, the shower stopped. I waited. Rob came out of the bathroom. I looked at him. He looked like a completely new person. His hair was clean and wet. His face was shaved. He smelled fresh like soap. The new clothes fit him well. He looked taller and stronger. His blue eyes looked brighter. He walked slowly to the living room. He sat carefully on my sofa. He still looked a little shy, but his face was calm now. The storm was still loud outside. Rain hit the windows hard, but inside my apartment was very quiet. It was also very warm and safe. There was a special feeling in the air, like soft electricity. We were alone, just the two of us. We were safe from the cold, wet world outside. I felt my heart beat a little faster. This moment felt important. It was a new beginning for us here in my home. The silence was not empty at all. It was full of new feelings and new hope. We looked at each other. The quiet spoke many words without any sound. It was a quiet full of wonder. I felt a strong connection to Rob. We were truly safe inside, and something special was starting to grow. 5, a special night. Cindy felt warm inside. The hot soup was good. Outside, the rain made a loud sound on the window. It was a strong, steady sound. But inside, it was quiet and safe. Rob and Cindy sat close on the sofa. They talked about many things. They talked about dreams and about simple joys. Rob told her stories that made her smile. Cindy shared her thoughts, things she never told her rich friends. She felt very comfortable. The storm outside made their small world feel even more special. Time passed quickly. It felt like only a few minutes, but many hours went by. As they talked, Rob looked at Cindy. His blue eyes were kind and deep. He looked at her like he really saw her, not just her expensive clothes or her busy life. Cindy looked back at him. She saw a good man, a man with a kind heart. She forgot that he had no home. She forgot about her own problems. In his eyes, she saw understanding. It was a strong feeling. She had never felt such a deep connection with anyone before. Her heart felt full, not empty. She felt a new kind of happiness. She felt closer to him with every word. Cindy moved a little closer on the soft sofa. Her heart was beating very fast, like a drum. Rob slowly lifted his hand. His hand was not soft like hers. It was strong and had worked hard. He gently touched her face. His skin felt a little rough, but his touch was very tender. Cindy closed her eyes for a moment. She felt a warm wave go through her body. Then Rob leaned closer. His eyes asked a question, and Cindy did not move away. He kissed her. It was a soft kiss at first, then it became longer and deeper. It was a kiss full of feeling. Cindy felt a wonderful warmth spread inside her. It was like small fireworks exploding in her stomach. In that moment, Cindy felt truly alive. For many years, her life was about work and planning. It was about things, not feelings. But this kiss, this moment with Rob was real. It woke up something inside her heart. It was a feeling she had forgotten. After the kiss, they stayed close. Rob held her hand. His hand was warm in hers. They did not sleep much that night. They just lay together, side by side, on the sofa. They talked softly, sharing more stories and more dreams. They watched the city lights through the window. They listened to the rain slow down. The storm outside slowly stopped. As the first light of morning came, painting the sky with soft colors, Cindy knew this night was special. It was a night of true connection, a night that changed everything. She felt safe, loved, and completely happy. 6. The mean boss. The next morning was truly beautiful. The sun was very bright, shining golden light through the tall city buildings. Rob and I walked out of my apartment building. I felt a wonderful sense of happiness inside me. Rob looked happy too, his face bright. We walked hand in hand, feeling brave and light. The fresh air after the storm felt good on our skin. We talked softly, smiling at each other. We remembered the warm soup and our long talks from the night before. It felt like a new chapter was starting, full of hope and joy. This feeling was new and strong for me. Suddenly, a big, black car stopped right next to us. My heart gave a little jump of surprise. It was my boss, Mrs. Davies. She was a very important and strict woman. She always wore perfect, expensive clothes. She saw Rob and then she saw me holding his hand. Her eyes opened wide with shock. She quickly got out of her car. Her face became very cold and hard. "Cindy, who is this man with you?" she asked loudly. Her voice was not friendly at all. It was sharp and full of judgment. A sudden, cold fear filled me. I knew Mrs. Davies cared only about appearance and money. She often said bad things about people who were not rich. My hand felt cold inside Rob's. "This is a friend, Mrs. Davies," I said, but my voice was very weak. It was barely a whisper. I felt small and very unsure of myself, standing there with her looking at us. Mrs. Davies looked at Rob from his head to his feet. She saw his old, worn-out shoes. She saw his simple, plain clothes, even though they were my brother's clean ones. She noticed the small, old bag he still carried. She did not offer a smile. Instead, she laughed, but it was a cruel, unkind sound. "A friend," she repeated, her voice full of disbelief. "He looks like a beggar, Cindy." She gave me a look of deep disgust. Then she shook her head slowly, as if she was very disappointed. She quickly got back into her expensive car and drove away fast, leaving us alone on the street. My cheeks felt hot with a sudden wave of shame. I felt terrible that my boss had seen me with Rob. I worried about what she would say at work and how it would affect my job. But almost immediately, a different, stronger feeling came over me. I felt angry. I was angry at myself for feeling ashamed. Why did her opinion matter so much? I looked at Rob. The happy smile he had worn moments ago was completely gone. His bright blue eyes, which had been so full of warmth and joy, now looked very sad. They showed a deep, silent hurt. He had heard every single cruel word. My heart ached for him, seeing his pain. Slowly, his hand slipped away from mine. The beautiful, happy morning was completely broken by her unkind words. 7. Saying goodbye. Rob pulled his hand away from Cindy's. His touch was gone. She felt a sudden coldness where their fingers had been. He looked down, his face sad. He spoke softly. "She is right, Cindy," he said. "I do not fit in your world." Cindy felt a sharp pain. How could he say that? Their night was warm and real, but Rob continued, his voice full of sorrow. "Your world is different. It has big houses and important people. My world is outside on the street." He looked up, his blue eyes showing pain. "If I stay, people will talk badly about you. I don't want to ruin your good name." He took a step back. The happy feeling from the morning began to break. "Rob, wait," Cindy said quickly. Her voice was not strong. She wanted to reach for him, but he shook his head. He did not stop. His decision was final. "Thank you for the warm night," he said again. His words felt like a final goodbye. He turned his back. He started to walk away down the busy street. His old clothes moved with him. He slowly disappeared. He did not look back. Cindy stood still on the sidewalk. She watched him go. The street was full of people and cars, but she felt completely alone. Each step Rob took made the distance bigger. Her hand felt empty. Her heart felt heavy and cold. The bright morning sun seemed cold and uncaring. She looked at her expensive clothes, her nice shoes, her beautiful apartment building. These were all parts of her successful life. Her job was important. Her reputation was good. But at that moment, all these things meant nothing. They felt like empty boxes. A deep sadness filled her. She realized something important. Her life, which she thought was perfect, was actually very cold without Rob. His kindness, his music, his gentle smile, his understanding, these were the things that made her feel truly alive. Without him, the emptiness she knew before was back. It was a cold, empty feeling in her heart. She was in her rich world, but she felt poorer than ever. 8. A happy end. After Rob left, my apartment felt empty. The silence was loud. For 3 days, I did not go to work. I just sat and thought. My phone rang often. I did not answer calls. My friends and boss called. They did not understand. My heart was sick. I remembered Rob's kind eyes, his smile, and his music. I remembered feeling truly happy with him. My life with money felt like a cage. I had everything, but nothing important. During these 3 days, I thought about my boss's words and Rob's. Was my reputation important? Was it more important than real happiness? No, I decided. People's words are just words. They do not make me happy or sad. Love makes me happy. Rob made me happy. I understood my life before Rob was empty. My job was just a job. My money was just money. My reputation was just an idea. Love was real. It was strong. It was the only thing I wanted. I chose love. On the fourth morning, I knew what to do. I put on my running shoes. I did not care about fancy clothes. I ran from my apartment. I ran past the busy streets and shops. My heart beat fast. I felt new energy. I ran to the train station where I first met him. I hoped he would be there. I hoped he did not leave. I hoped he still remembered me. My legs felt tired, but I ran. When I arrived, I saw him. He sat in his usual spot. His old guitar was in his hands. He played a soft, sad song. His head was down. He did not see me at first. My breath was short from running. Rob. I called out. He looked up. His blue eyes opened wide. He stopped playing. A small smile came to his face. "Cindy," he said. I ran to him. "I don't care what anyone says," I told him, catching my breath. "I am proud to know you. I want to be with you." I took his hand. It felt warm and strong. He squeezed my hand back. "I got a job today," he said, his voice shaky. "A dishwasher at a small cafe. It is not much, but it is a start." He looked happy and proud. I smiled. This was good news. This was our start. I did not care about people watching. I did not care about my boss or my old life. I leaned forward and kissed him. It was a long, sweet kiss. People walked by, but I did not notice. Rob kissed me back. His hands held my face gently. This was our happy end and beginning. We would start our new life together, one step at a time. We would build something real, strong, and full of love. We would be happy.